Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025, and this is the council meeting for the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays. And it stopped snowing. I'd like to call the meeting to order with the approval of the agenda. Does this mean anything? Moved by Councilor Anderson, seconded by Councilor Goddard. Be it resolved that the council meeting agenda dated April 8th, 2025 be adopted as circulated. All those in favor? Councilor LaCroix is trying to get online. He sends his regrets. He had an appointment he had to get to, so if he gets on, we'll wave, and if he doesn't, he had to leave right away anyway. So hope you get on, Councilor, if you'd like, but he's has an appointment. I'd like to ask Councilor Papard if you could please, good morning, read our land acknowledgement statement, sir.
Good morning. Ainin. We recognize that we gather here on the traditional lands of the Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee nations, acknowledging we are settlers here. We make our homes today on land bound by Treaty 13. It is through the long stewardship over thousands of years and the forced sacrifices of the original inhabitants that we're able to make this beautiful place our home. The ongoing stewardship of the environment is a legacy we must strive to treasure and preserve as we continue to learn from one another and grow together, sharing our collective history. We invite everyone to investigate the findings of the Truth and Reconciliation Committee and the treaties that still bind all of us so that we may share this land with honor and respect. Miigwech. Thank you.
Miigwech. Thank you, Councilor Papard. I'd like to ask committee, is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? I recognize Councilor Anderson, Councilor Tapley.
Thank you, Mayor Glover. I have to find the 6G 10 reimbursement of RLA application renewal fees and 10A closed session corporate service department RLA. And I'm declaring a past, what they call a past pecuniary interest because I'm a co-owner of a property that may have been affected by the RLA matter.
Thank you, sir. Councilor Tapley.
Just turned it off. Goodness me. 6BI, the accommodation, municipal accommodation tax by reason of employment.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, thank you. Good. Okay, we're going to go into our delegations. We have John VJ Messick. I'm going to give that a go. From Thompson Curry Professional Corporation on the Glenmount Road Land Exchange. Good morning, sir.
How are you?
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just here on behalf of the owners of the Glenmount project. So I'm the third solicitor sitting in this chair. The staff report that was submitted by council, I guess for it was submitted, but by Jim McIntosh of Bearson, who is the solicitor for the Township of Lake of Bays on this matter. And I wanted to be here to affirm the support for his recommendation that an exception be granted by council to the cost of the land exchange, waiving the consideration so that the transfers for these properties can be completed at nominal consideration. So a little bit of background, there are 25 landowners that are affected by this project. As you will note from the report, it's been going on for many years. The report notes that it's been going on for 15 years. Some of the owners have been dealing with this issue for almost 20 years. And they have incurred significant costs, significant delays, and through a pandemic, court delays, all these things that have gone into it have brought us to this point where we're very close to finishing this project off. And I'm just here on behalf of the owners of Glenmount to confirm that we support that the land exchanges be completed at nominal consideration in support of the, or as suggested by the submission by council for the Township of Lake of Bays.
Okay, well, thank you very much for that. Any questions, council? We are going to deal with this matter later on in the program. Okay, I don't see any, so thank you very much, sir. And I'm not sure if you'll be joining us later on, possibly, I guess, or not, or.
I will not,
Okay.
but I've said my piece and I will take my leave of you. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Okay, well, you have yourself a good day. Thank you.
Bye.
Next up, I've got Jim Spears and Chuck McClellan, captains of the SS Bigwin. If you could come forward to the podium, we'll check the microphone and
Yeah, good morning. Mr. Mayor, councillors, thanks for giving us the opportunity to talk to you this morning. We're here to make, I guess, what is our annual request to have the commercial dock fees for the SS Bigwin waived for our trips to Dwight. We are again this year planning on sailing or cruising to Dwight 2 days a week through the peak season, which is the months of July and August.
I could get you to just pull it a little closer. There you go.
Is that better?
That's better. Thank you.
Okay, so as I was saying, we're planning on sailing to Dwight again, 2 days a week through the months of July and August. And last year we received sponsorship, which assisted us in the covering the cost of the commercial dock fees. This year we've been informed that sponsorship will not be available. However, the cost of the docking fees for commercial application is a significant overhead as far as we're concerned. Just to give you a little bit of background, we had a really good year last year. We sailed 314 cruises. We carried in excess of 3,800 passengers, many of whom obviously are tourists or visitors to the area. And even at that, we are operating below break even on the cost of running the boat. We are a small operation. We don't carry many passengers on the boat. We have significant overheads, and we rely very much on fundraising and donors to cover our annual operating costs. Therefore, we are here again to request that we have the dock fees for the use of the Dwight dock waived for this season. That is the request we're here for today. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Okay, and I'll just remind council, we will be going to this report later on as well, but do you have any questions? Well, we sure appreciate you coming today. It's a wonderful, wonderful addition to Lake of Bays, and we will be speaking with regard to the report later on today.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Okay, next up I have the consent agenda. Any members of the public wish to speak to any part of that?
No, we did not receive any comments or concerns on the surplus reports.
Okay, I did not hear from committee that anyone wanted anything brought forward, council. So I have moved by Councillor Anderson, seconded by Councillor Tapley. Whereas items listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and enacted in one motion, council members may request one or more items be removed from the consent agenda for separate discussion and or action. Each and every matter of business contained in the consent agenda is recorded separately in the minutes of the meeting. And whereas Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays reviewed the consent agenda consisting of various proposed resolutions, bylaws, now therefore be it resolved, the mayor and council approve and adopt recommendations contained in the consent agenda dated April 8th, 2025, and direct staff to proceed with all the necessary administrative actions. Council, all those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm into the Economic Development Coordinator. Municipal Accommodation Tax, 6BI. Good morning, Morgan. Welcome.
Good morning. All right. Good morning, Mayor and council members. I am here today to seek your approval on the establishment of a municipal accommodation task force in Lake of Bays. At the November 12th, 2024 council meeting, council paused the implementation of the MAP bylaw and related policies until further notice. At that time, council directed Economic Development Coordinator to develop a comprehensive strategic plan for fund distribution and tourism partnerships. The purpose of the task force is to provide guidance on that plan while ensuring proper consultation is being achieved for presenting the final bylaw in the fall. This group will help shape the roadmap for implementing the MAT tax with the goal of fostering support from all stakeholders. This process will offer valuable insight into the fund management and highlight tourism opportunities identified by those directly involved in the industry. As outlined in the report, the proposed timeline aims to bring the final bylaw along with task force recommendations before council in fall of 2025. At that time, council will be presented the final draft bylaw for deliberation towards the implementation of MAT in Lake Bays. Through this process, both the community and council will gain a clear understanding of what the program could look like, enabling a more informed decision. The task force terms of reference are included in the report, and it does outline a transparent selection process on who can be on the task force, and it will have ongoing engagement and dialogue throughout the entire thing. The township CAO will serve as the chair of the task force. This report was publicly posted with the council agenda 1 week prior to the meeting, and I also shared it with all of the delegates from November 12th, 2024's meeting, and those I have heard back from are in supportive of this next step. At this time, I welcome any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Is Councillor Croy on or no? No, okay, so I'll go to committee, council. Councillor Anderson, go ahead.
Thank you, Morgan. Thanks for all this detailed information. My question is in the actual task force administration section. And there's a section there where it talks about the task force will aim to achieve consensus during discussions. But then further along, it says the task force will not have any voting powers. And I couldn't kind of relate what that was referring to.
Yeah, so the intent of the task force is not to like pass motions or vote on anything. This is just a group of folks coming together to talk about the different elements of the task force with meeting notes and like an agenda and meeting notes. And then all of that information will come to council, and then council will make the final decision. So say there's some conversation about the split percentage, 50-50, 60-40, or the tourism partnership. That information is not being voted on within the task force. That information will be documented and brought to council. So council then has a clear understanding of what these folks and these stakeholders feel are important. So they're not voting on anything. Nothing's going to be solidified within the task force. It'll come to council as information.
Go ahead.
Thanks, Mayor, and through you. That's great. That certainly clarifies that point. Thanks very much. The other thing I was considering when you came up with the task force makeup, CAO, 2 councillors, deputy clerk, economic development coordinator, director of Chamber of Commerce, tourism, and 3 members from the accommodation, including STR. My thought is, I'm just wondering, is that enough representation? Like, how did you come up? How did you sort of settle on the 3? Just as it almost seems that those 3 would be slightly overwhelmed by the other people in the room. Do you see what I mean? So that's my question. How did you come up with the idea of 3?
To answer your question, we didn't want a huge task force. We wanted this to be kind of condensed. We wanted the accommodators to be the spokesperson in their community. Same with the short-term rental. So the hope is that the other folks can help talk about the background of tax, the positive of what this could look like. So they're able to present a positive picture of what this could look like to everybody. And then the 3 accommodators will be the spokespeople, because we didn't want it to be more than 10 people, just to kind of keep it streamlined. But that can also change as well.
Councillor Picard.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Morgan. You said a few of the people from the deputations responded. Did any of the small resort owners respond? And if so, what did they say?
Yeah, so I spoke with a few of them after November and then bringing this forward. And everyone's in supportive of being in the same room and talking about what this could look like. They think that that is the next step that we can take, and they can work together. We can all work together on shaping this MAT tax in the next 4 or 5 months. And then council has the option to understand what they feel, because it'll be very transparent in the report that I bring back in the fall. So they're all, the ones I've spoke to are definitely supportive. They all want to be on the task force. So to your point, trying to figure out who will be the spokespeople, we'll do that, but everyone's on board to sit in a room with us and talk about what this could look like, and then bring it back to council in a more wholesome package.
And if I may, just on the lines of Councillor Anderson's question, at some point it might be helpful to have other non-resort business owners in the room to listen and say, you know, what could the MAT tax do for the business community as a whole, kind of thing, because that'll support each other. If people are restauranting here, they might sleep here as well. Thank you.
And just to answer that, that was kind of the Chamber of Commerce lens, is the hope that they bring kind of a full picture to the table.
Further? Not seeing any. I would just wanted to make a brief statement for clarity. There's a lot of comments being made out there, and I just wanted to make it quite clear to those who are watching maybe for the first time, or those who might be a little confused by this. What a MAT tax actually is a tax put on the tourist visiting the resort. And the resorts and hotels are administrating the tax, okay? In the city of Toronto, or in a lot of other places, and certainly around the surrounding areas, everyone's considering it. Some have put it in place. But it's a much higher tax. I think it was 7% is what I believe in the city of Toronto. What else I wanted to say was, then what happens is that amount of money comes in and it's paid for by the tourists, not by the resorts. And then that money gets put into a pool, and half of it, roughly, depending on how the agreement's made, goes to the township, and half of it goes to the resorts to work on projects like marketing, developing things that will help them continue to operate. And the half that goes to the town will be to support projects that are some way tied to tourism. Now, that's an interesting point, because if you were to take a look at just the parks budget alone, you could take a good portion of that and say, that's all we do, our parks for people visiting the town. And what that would in fact do would relieve the taxpayer in general, and it's including the resorts. It would reduce their taxes as well, because we all have to pay to keep those things running. So I just wanted to make that statement to make it quite clear how this tax works. And as a follow-up, I'm very, very much in favor of it. And I hope that we will continue to all work together. And I spoke to our CAO this morning. I'd like to be on the first meeting just to help everybody shake hands and say hello and introduce each other. But I just wanted to make that statement for those who might be a little bit foggy on how this thing works. This isn't a tax on the people. This isn't a tax on the resorts. This is a tax on visiting people, put in by the Ontario government, and we are just approving it in our township. Okay, so any further? Councillor Godard.
Thank you, Mayor Glover. I believe this is a 50, the provincial policy states it's a 50-50 percentage for infrastructure and then tourism. Is that correct? Just want to make that clear.
Yeah, I can answer that question. It's a minimum 50-50.
Okay.
So that the township can't take more than 50.
Got it.
So it can be a 40-60.
Thank you.
I think a 50-50 is where my head's at on that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure where we're going with that, but I didn't want to open up. Anyone else? Councillor Brooks, did you want to say something, or you're?
Thank you, Mayor. I just thank you, Morgan, for the report, because like Mayor Glover has said, this is a very positive step in my opinion for the township. Helping tourism is going to help us, everyone around the table, everyone of our communities. I do have some concern about the numbers, as Councillor Anderson has. We have basically 4 nodes in the township. And if you have, meaning Baysville, Dorset, Dwight, uh, uh, Hillside area, if you have 2 representatives of the community and they're from one or the other, but there's others that are not being served, I'm just questioning whether or not the 10 could be 12. And because of those 3 that are public, one of them is going to be short-term rental. And that's basically mandated, as I understand. So you're only going to have one from, let's say, maybe one from Baysville and one from Dwight, and then that propagates one of the issues that we have already, because people think, there are a lot of people that think, well, you know, this area gets all of our money. So we need to mitigate that concern. In my opinion, I think we need to mitigate that concern and make sure that everyone gets considered.
Did you want to comment here? Sorry, Morgan? No,
No,
no.
we can,
Kayla,
I think we can up the number to have a better distribution of.
did you want to say?
Through your worship to Councillor Brooks and council. I think in looking at this, Councillor Brooks, as it starts to grow and we have those more communication with those representatives, there's a need to expand from 10 to 12. I think there's some freedom within the task force to do so. The idea is to making it a size that we can actually accomplish what we need to accomplish in that short time frame, but still have that representation across, and having 2 of the member groups, you know, that is, forgive my math, but close to 30% of the representative body across the organization, as opposed to the nodes. Absolutely respect, understand what you're saying for that equalized representation. So it's something I think we can handle within the task force itself if council endorses for it to move forward.
Okay, I'm going to go to Councillor LaCroix. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us in your car or someone else's car, but we sure appreciate you doing that and taking time out this morning. And I know you have to leave. So did you want to make a statement? You're still on mute. Now you're frozen. I'll go to you, Councillor Brooks, if you wanted to add something else that will be helpful.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to supplement to that, in response to the CAO's comments, in retrospect, you've got councillors that are involved in this process as well, and I'd like to think that the councillors would be responsible to basically promote their tourism area representatives anyway. So if it stays at 10, but if Morgan's prepared to have the committee look at it, that's great.
Councillor LaCroix, can you join us?
Yeah, it finally let me speak. So
It's on mute.
you keep shutting me off.
Well, it isn't me. Go ahead, Councillor. Are you paused again?
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience. I don't know what's wrong with the internet service at the house. It's just not working very good the last month or so. I've just joined, so I'm not quite sure where you are in the agenda.
We're at the Mad Tax, sir, and I guess if you just wanted to make a statement about it in general, that's the best I can give you at this point. Did you want to just make a statement?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I certainly would. Yeah, I still think after reviewing what we've said for the MAT tax, we completely agree with staff's recommendations. I look forward to having this added revenue not only for our communities but for extra tourism in our township. I think this would be a great opportunity for everyone to enjoy the benefits of added services to the township without actually having to tax the taxpayers. So to me, this seems to be a win-win situation. I guess I don't know what the other councilors have said. I'm just not I'm not 100% sure about the composition, whether or not we need more or less people in it. I'm not sure whether we have too many councilors or too few residents to join this committee, but interested in hearing what other councilors have to say.
Okay, well,
Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
principally what was said was that a couple of councillors said the same thing, concerned with the composition of this committee. So we're going to look at it at a future date, but we're going to start up with what we've got and see how it goes. Okay, does that sound reasonable?
It does, yes.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. And if you want to stay on, you can. I think we're getting pretty much talked out. I don't have any other hands up. If there's no further questions, I'm going to go to the resolution moved by Councillor Brooks, seconded by Councillor Anderson. Whereas the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays receives a staff report, municipal accommodation tax, MAT tax, force dated April 8th, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved, the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays approves the establishment of a municipal accommodation tax, MAT task force to provide strategic guidance on the economic development strategic plan regarding the spending priorities and tourism partnerships, ensuring comprehensive and inclusive community engagement throughout the process. Any other questions? All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Morgan. Thank you, Councillor LaCroix. You can stay on if you'd like for a while or whatever works for you, sir. Next up, I have Director of Building Bylaw Services. So no, yeah, the big one. And who will be dealing with that? Ann, welcome, Ann.
Good morning, Mayor Glover, members of council, staff, and residents with us today. The report before you today both summarizes present and future agreements for commercial use between the SS Bigwin and the Township of Lake of Bays. I would like to start by bringing your attention to the first page where the report highlights are listed. In 2018, the Township and the SS Bigwin had the first commercial use agreement in place, which led to further agreements between 2019 and 2024. Approved commercial use by the SS Bigwin on municipal property supports the township's strategic themes and promotes our natural environment. SS Bigwin required to annually submit application, dates of use, payment of the application fee, and provide proof of and keep valid insurance. And for 2025 and 2026, the township will incur approximately $753.66 in electrical charges and $7,700 in lost revenue from waived user fees. The report begins when staff were aware the SS Bigwin and the Lake of Bays Navigational Society was interested in continuing the commercial use of Dwight Beach Dock for the coming of the 2025 season. Referring to the bottom of the page 1, between 2018 and 2024, there have been numerous agreements and resolutions approved in support of the SS Bigwin. Moving on to the analysis within the report, further down on page 2, there's a quick reminder that delegated authority has been given to staff under the bylaws to approve municipal access user agreements, whereas Public Parks Bylaw 2012-096 permits commercial uses in municipal parks only after council has given the approval. From a regulatory standpoint, Bylaw Services reports little to no concern with the use of township properties by the SS Bigwin and supports any new agreements with the township. In 2019, the council waived the application and user fees, along with the items covered in the resolution noted here at the bottom of page 2. Financials related to items to the resolution and costs from 2019 projected for 2025 and 2026 are shown on page 3. Given that the SS Bigwin and the Lake of Bays Navigational Society operates in such a way that supports the township's strategic themes, promotes our natural environment, supports economic development, and raises monies to support the community, staff are supporting the upcoming commercial use agreement with the SS Bigwin and the waiving of user fees and hydro costs with the understanding that on or before March 31st of each year, the applicant shall still be required to complete commercial use agreement application, payment of the application fee, and provide proof of valid liability and property damage insurance of up to $5 million, which then allows staff to generate a report to council to have the commercial use agreement approved and in place before the season starts. In closing, I refer you to the financial portion of the report near the bottom of page 3. In consideration of this report and recommendation before council for the commercial use agreement with the SS Bigwin for 2025 and 26, the township will incur approximately $753.66 in electrical charges and waive user fees as shown in the report. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, we are here to answer them.
Questions to council? Anyone have any questions? Councillor Anderson?
Thank you, Mayor Glover, through you. Thanks for the report. I'm totally supportive of this recommendation. The only question I have is in 219, we also waived the application fee, and I'm just thinking for an organization that's struggling financially, could we not waive the application fee for both 25 and 26 as well, an additional $400?
Further questions? Councillor Tapley?
So that's a question. I support George. I think this is an amazing asset for the town, and we should do everything we can to make it viable.
Okay, further? Councillor Brooks? I'm going to add something.
Thank you, Mayor. Not so much a question, just a statement. Just on the heels of Morgan's report, this is a perfect opportunity going forward into 26 and beyond, where you could look at something like this as a source of revenue to help this program. Because this is awesome, this is great for the community, and it is obviously tourism based. So this is nothing that we should be saying no to.
Okay, I wanted to just add something as well. In the past, I think part of the idea of sponsoring the SS Bigwin was to at least let people know that the township supports it and is paying for its waiving fees and so on and so forth. So I think it's important that something is in the resolution that points to that so that it is confirmed. As I understand it in discussions with the captain, our name's on the boat, but that doesn't mean when the boat gets, fixed up or whatever, that it's not a continual process. So if we're going to waive it, I would like to be recognized somehow in their pamphlets on their boat as a sponsor, even though we have, we dropped the sponsorship. This is what council wanted in the budget. However, if we're going to do this, I think that would be a way to recognize the township for what we do for them. Anyone else want to comment on that? Councillor Godard?
Yes, I'm definitely in support of that. It's, they do so much. They also, give donations and themselves. So, with tours, to certain foundations. And, I think it's just a great thing that they're doing, and we should help them. And we also should be, acknowledged for what we're doing or what we might be doing.
Recognized as partners. Anyone else? Councillor LaCroix?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I would totally agree with the rest of the council. This is something that runs through Lake of Bays, and it's recognized as one of our main tourist attractions. So to me, it would be beneficial for council to waive all fees that we can. Thank you.
Okay, do we have enough to, George, go ahead. Councillor Anderson?
Thank you, Mayor Glover. Through you, my question is there any appetite to include in this resolution the waiving of the application fees?
I think that's where we were headed, and I think that's, so do you need time to rework the resolution?
I'm sorry, I need clarification, and I think staff needs clarification as well. So in exchange for waiving of the application fees, what are you exactly asking for SS Bigwin? A partnership? Something on the boat?
I was just suggesting
Pamphlets?
that we continue, that our name is mentioned, our logo is put somewhere so that we recognize the partnership between the townships. Yep, go ahead, sir.
Thank you to your worship, to yourself and to council. Just for an overall point of clarify, so the report presented, I met with Ann and Chris in regards to this, and Morgan. The report here is basically a waiver of fees and application fees if council so chooses, because the bylaws prohibit this. So it's, for lack of better terms, it's a bylaw exemption report. The reason why 2 years is that we know that council's been very supportive for it. We understand as staff how important this organization is to the community. And over those 2 years, it's building that relationship and building a longer term agreement between this organization and the township that will come back to council to endorse it further. That's why the 2 year window gives us time to construct and really build that relationship and that mutual support and recognition that way to keep it here within the community itself. So I think the resolution amended with the application fees and us continuing the waiver of the application fees along with the other fees, and then through staff and through Morgan, keeping that conversation moving forward with this organization and that mutual agreement, I think we can begin to recognize through them the township.
Mr. Tapley?
So basically, we're waiving application fee and that's what it is. And we're requesting that there be signage on the boat in the museum. It says in partnership with Lake Base, right?
That's where I thought we were headed. Did anyone else want to comment before we go forward? Is there anyone not in favor of that? Okay, so we're going to take a 5-minute break. Is 5 enough? 10? 5? 10-minute break, and we'll rework the resolution. Quickly, Councillor Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor. Just on that, on your thought there about recognition, would it be appropriate for us to have the Bigwin people in concert with our marketing department actually work together and determine how we can do that advertising that's beneficial to the township?
I think you're digging in a hole here. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. Are we okay with the fact that we want to be mentioned on the boat and in their advertising? Is that okay, Councillor Anderson? Are you with us? Yes? Okay. Okay, so then we're going to take a 10-minute break. Okay, Mr. Collins, go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mayor, to council. I know I'm holding up the break, and I really want this to be just thought about as we go to break to consider resolution, is that council has been very supportive of charitable organizations. And I am, as an officer and as a person, I'm in support of waiving fees for charitable organizations. So the reason the report was written with the supporting them because they raise monies for the community, I would like that to be clear, because if you're going to waive fees to support a business and create a sponsorship feel, why not do that for every other business that has a commercial license to apply to? Why not do it for every food truck, every other business that comes to us for a license? So I just want to put that out there, the importance of looking at they're raising money for research, like for hospital, like healthcare related things. So you'd want to put that caveat on there to say, if you're that kind of organization, then you're going to waive all fees. Don't waive application fees just because you want to support and promote a business. I just wanted to make that clear in terms of your thoughts, because an application fee that supports a business should stay. It needs to be a charity for it to be rescinded and waived. And we are in support of the SS Big, and we're supportive of the going forward with them, because it's been a very full 6 years, but it's getting very good. And we want to make it very much better going forward in the future to have some really good long-term relationships built. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. So we'll take a short break and we'll meet back at 9:50. Thank you. Okay, we're back. Thank you so much, staff, for, I'm going to read the resolution. Moved by Councillor Anderson, seconded by Councillor Godard. Whereas the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays receives a staff report, SS Bigwin and Lake Bays Navigational Society Commercial Use Agreement with the Township of Lake Bays dated April 8th, 2025. Therefore, be it resolved, the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays approves an exemption to bylaw 2024-197 fees and charges bylaw for the commercial user fees, application fees, and Dwight Beach hydro charges for 2 years, 2025 through 2026 inclusive, provided that a complete commercial use agreement application and proof of insurance is received by staff by March 31st of each year. And so we didn't include the second section about naming it. We're going to let staff work that out because it confuses the matter. Is everybody okay with that? Okay, so I'm going to go for the vote. All those in favor? And it's carried. Thank you. Thank you, staff, for that. Okay, moving along, we're into the Declaration of Surplus Land, OSRA, Glenmount Road, Glenmount Holdings, Inc., 6GI, and the rest. And you're going to start, or is she going to start? To Samantha, good morning.
I'm much shorter than everyone else. Okay. So I'm going to address the next 4 reports all in one. Glenmount Road. In July of 2010, after a year of consultations with the Glenmount Road Committee, the township received 24 joint applications to exchange road allowance, Glenmount Road for original shore road allowance. Preliminary approval of those applications was granted by council on October 12th, 2010. These files were forwarded to the township solicitor, who has been working with the Glenmount Group solicitor, Thompson Curry. There's been 3 solicitors, like Mr. Messick said this morning. Their surveyor, the assistant examiner of surveys, and the deputy director of titles for the past 15 years. In 2018, the township solicitor received the draft reference plans, which required title search to be completed along with the review of plans. Their time on the matter began to escalate as orphan parcels were identified and other title issues surfaced that needed to be cleared. Despite many challenges, changes in property ownership, health issues, including provincial staff and reference plans, the reference plans were finally deposited in 2021. These challenges were out of their control, and we are now in the final steps in the conveyancing process. The township solicitor is recommending that due to the complexity of vesting orders, title rectifications, 15 years of time and legal expenses being borne by the property owners, that council grant an exception to the current policy and approve the transfers to be completed at a nominal consideration. The township solicitor has provided a significant discount of $20,000 towards their legal fees incurred on behalf of the township to date, which have been accruing since 2010 and are associated with the entire group application. The Glenmount Property Owners Group have been responsible for their own legal fees in addition to covering the costs of the township solicitor, and continue to be responsible for all legal costs until the matter is fully completed. In addition, some of the applicants have paid annual LLC fees for the past 15 years. Another factor that bears consideration is that a significant portion of the land being exchanged forms part of the municipal road known as Glenmount Road. This title rectification process is unique and distinct from a typical shore road and road allowance application where the property owner is simply purchasing the land interest from the township. The property owners have worked in collaboration with legal and township staff in good faith. Should council choose to provide the exception to the policy as recommended by the township solicitor, the estimated land acquisition fees that will not be collected for this entire group, minus 50% of the LOC fees paid from 2015 forward, is approximately $6,000. And I'm available to answer any questions.
Okay, questions from council? Not a question?
Comment.
Okay, go ahead,
For
Councillor.
15 years, I've been watching this. It's painful. I'm really glad to see it finally coming to some kind of conclusion.
Any further questions? Okay, thank you very much for the report, moved by Counselor Anderson, seconded by Counselor Godard. Whereas the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays receives a staff report, declaration of surplus land, OSRA Glenmount Road, Glenmount Holdings, Inc., dated April 8th, 2025. Be resolved, the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays declares the following township-owned real property to be surplus. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake of Bays, in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Parts 1 and 2 on Plan 35R 25900. Part 1 is flooded and retained by the townships. A township, Glenmount Holdings, Inc., 030-012-00700, Rideout, 1063 Glenmount Road, Lake of Bays. And further, that given the complexity of vesting orders, title rectifications, exchanges of land, annual LOC fees, and 15 years of legal expenses, the township solicitor is requesting an exemption to SRA and RA policy section 2.02B, and the application be approved at nominal consideration. Further questions, comments? All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you. I have a bylaw, the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays bylaw 2025-062, being a bylaw for the purpose of closing these portions of the original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25, concession 13, former Township of Rideout, designated as Parts 1 and 2 on Plan 35R 25900, now in the Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka. All those in favor? And it's carried again. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all your report. Oh, good. Okay. I'm on G2 then? Yep, 6G2. Go ahead. Oh, I'm just going to do it this way. And I'm going to read it all. Yes, good. Okay, I'm looking forward to that. Everybody put their feet up. This is going to take a minute. Moved by Councillor Tapley, seconded by Councillor LaCroix. Whereas the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays receives the staff report, declaration of surplus land, OSRA, Glenmount Road, Group 1, dated April 8th, 2025. Be it resolved, the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays declares the following township-owned real property to be surplus. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 2 on Plan 35R 26518, Biggs 030-012-01300, Rideout, 1083 Glenmount Road, Lake of Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 3 on Plan 35R 26518, Ogden 030-012-01200, Rideout, 1081 Glenmount Road, Lake of Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 4 on Plan 35R 26518, Forestville 030-012-01100, Rideout, 1075 Glenmount Road, Lake of Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 5 on Plan 35R 26518, Parker 030-012-01000, Rideout, 1073 Glenmount Road, Lake of Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 6 on Plan 35R 26518, Muirhead 030-012-00900, Rideout, 1071 Glenmount Road, Lake of Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25, concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 7 on Plan 35R 26518, Humphreys 030-012-00800, Rideout, 1067 Glenmount Road, Lake of Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of Lot 25 in concession 13, former Township Rideout, now Township of Lake of Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 1 on Plan 35R 26518 is flooded and retained by the township, and further that given the complexity of vesting orders, title rectifications, exchanges of land, annual LLC fees, and 15 years of legal expenses, the township solicitor is requesting an exemption to SRA and RA policy section 2.02, and the application be approved at nominal consideration. All those in favor? That's carried. And the bylaw, the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays, bylaw number 2025-063 being a bylaw for the purpose of closing those portions of the original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 25, concession 13, former Township of Rideout, designated parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on Plan 35R 26518, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka. All those in favor? And that's carried as well. Really? Moved by Councillor Picard, seconded by Councillor Tapley. Whereas the Council for the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays receives the staff report declaration of surplus land OSRA Glenmount Road Group 2 dated April 8th, 2025. Be it resolved, Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays declares the following township-owned real property to be surplus. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 2 on Plan 35R 26519, Connell 03001202400, Rideout 1107 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 23 on Plan 35R 26519, Whittingham 03001202300, Rideout 1105 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 4 in Plan 35R 26519, Whittingham 03001202201, Rideout, Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 5 on Plan 35R 26519, Gentles 03001202200, Rideout 1101 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 6 on Plan 35R 26519, Watt 03001202100, Rideout 1099 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 7 on Plan 35R 26519, Stewart 03001202000, Rideout 1097 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 8 on Plan 35R 26519, Losberg 03001201900, Rideout 1095 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 9 on Plan 35R 26519, Cohen 03001201801, Rideout 1093 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26, concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 10 on Plan 35R 26519, Faulkner 03001201800, Rideout 1091 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former Township of Rideout, now in Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka, designated as Part 1 on Plan 35R 26519 is flooded and retained by the township, and further that given the complexity of vesting orders, title rectifications, exchanges of land, annual LOC fees, and 15 years of legal expenses, the township solicitors request an exceptional SRA and RA policy section 2.02B, and the applications be approved at nominal consideration. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. And the bylaw of the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays, bylaw number 2025-064, being a bylaw for the purpose of closing those portions of the original Shorewood allowance in front of lot 26, concession 13, former Township of Rideout, designated as Part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on Plan 35R 26519, now in the Township of Lake Bays in the District Municipality of Muskoka. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you. No, because this is a good task for me and this is this is unbelievable. Moved by Counselor Brooks, seconded by Counselor Anderson, whereas the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays receives the staff report declaration of surplus, this is the last one, right? Of the OSRA, because I'm gonna save it, they're gonna enjoy this one. OSRA Glenmount Road Group 3, dated April 8, 2025. Be it resolved, the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays declares the following township-owned real property to be surplus. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 3 on plan 35R 26514 Williamson 03001203903 Rideout, Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 4 on plan 35R 26514 Richardson and Acton 03001203400 Rideout 1161 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 5 on plan 35R 26514 Gentle 03001203300 Rideout 1157 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 6 on plan 35R 26514 Williamson 03001203900 Rideout 1147 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 7 on plan 35R 26514 Chester 03001203800 Rideout 1143 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated part 8 on plan 35R 26514 Burke 03001203200 Rideout 1139 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 9 on plan 35R 26514 Lake Bays Tennis Club 03001203000 Rideout 1113 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 10 on plan 35R 26514 Lake Bays Sailing Club 03001202800 Rideout 1111 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 14 on plan 35R 26514 Barker 03001202500 Rideout 1109 Glenmount Road, Lake Bays. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27, concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 1 and 2 on plan 35R 26514 is flooded and retained by the township. The original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 26 in concession 13, former township of Rideout, now in the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka, designated as part 13 on plan 35R 26514 is flooded and retained by the township. And further, that given the complexity of vesting orders, title rectifications, exchange of land, annual LOC fees, and 15 years of legal expenses, the township solicitors requesting an exception to SRA and RA policy section 2.02, and the applications be approved at nominal consideration. All those in favor? Carried. Corporation of Township of Lake Bays bylaw number 2025-065, being a bylaw for the purpose of closing those portions of the original Shore Road allowance in front of lot 27, concession 13, designated as parts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 on plan 35R 26514, and in front of lot 26, concession 13, designated as part 13 and 14 on plan 35R 26514, former township of Rideout, now in the township of Lake Bays in the district municipality of Muskoka. All those in favor? Well, I hope those folks are having a tea party eating croissants while we do that, but we sure appreciate that. Thank you very, very much. Is that the end, or is we got more to go?
That's the end of the Glenmount ones.
Okay,
There you go.
thank you so much, Sam.
You're
Go ahead.
welcome.
Next case, wherever that is.
All right, so the next one up is a Bradley OSRA. So in November of 2024, the Township's Committee of Adjustment approved a consent application for a lot addition. And one of the conditions of the provisional decision was that they were required to purchase the shore road allowance in front of the severed and retained lands. So staff began processing the applications and circulated a notice to the abutting property owner, and there was no response received by the requested date. Upon further review of the survey sketch by the township solicitor and staff, it was noted that a 1.3-foot encroachment onto the OSRA directly abutting the neighboring property was noted. Staff reached out to the surveyor, who confirmed that the encroachment was for a permanent masonry chimney attached to the dwelling. Township policy notes that generally the portion of shore road allowance to be closed and conveyed is determined by straight lot line projections. Staff prepared an additional notice to the abutting neighbor, specifically emphasizing the masonry chimney on the open OSRA abutting their property, and proposed a slight deviation to ensure that it would be located on the OSRA the applicant was purchasing. The notice requested a response of approval or concern to the deviation. However, again, no response was provided. The township solicitor has indicated the small deviation appears to address the encroachment. It does not appear to materially reduce the frontage at the water. And ideally, removal of the structure would have been preferred, however, not the case with a masonry chimney attached to a dwelling. Staff reached out to the surveyor to determine what the reduced frontage would be at the water's edge, and it appears to be approximately 3 feet. Staff are recommending council direct staff to proceed with the slight deviation to avoid the structural encroachment, as it cannot be reasonably relocated given its permanent nature. And I'm available to answer any questions.
Questions, council? See Councilor LaCroix's left meeting. Anyone? No? Okay, I have a resolution in front of me, moved by Councilor Goddard, seconded by Councilor Anderson. Whereas the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays receives a staff report application to close the original shore road allowance Bradley dated April 8th, 2025, and whereas the surveyor sketch illustrates a minor masonry chimney encroachment on the OSRA directly abutting the neighboring property with a straight lot line projection. And whereas an OSRA notice was circulated to the abutting neighboring stating the encroachment and a proposed deviation to the lot line given the permanent masonry chimney encroachment, however, no response was received as per SRA and RA policy section 2.10. Staff are seeking council's direction to proceed. Therefore, be resolved that the application to stop up and close the original shore road allowance abutting property identified as roll number 010-021-08500 Franklin Ward proceed with the deviated lot line projection as shown on Appendix A 010-021-08500 Bradley 1007 Patrick Road, Franklin. All those in favor? That's carried. Thank you very much. Go ahead. You're on 6GX.
I know, I was waiting for Councillor
Oh,
Anderson
okay,
to leave the
yeah.
room. Thank you, Mayor and Council. Moving forward in the cancellation of the RLA program, Council wanted to consider the compensation of application and renewal fees to those residents who participated in the program, specifically those applicants that applied for roads, streets, or lanes under a plan of subdivision, and for previously existing privately maintained driveways and roads. The other residents who applied under the RLA program for new construction will have their application fees transferred to the new unassumed road improvement agreement policy. According to the financial records of the RLA program, 11 application fees and 2 renewal fees were paid in the amount of $7,600. Today, we seek council's approval to initiate the return of these fees. Next steps, we are still collecting requests for the reimbursement of other costs incurred by residents who applied under the RLA program and anticipate another report coming forward to the May Council meeting to finalize the termination of this program.
Any questions, council? I will read the resolution moved by Councillor Tapley, seconded by Councillor Papard. Whereas the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays receives a staff report reimbursement of road licensing agreement application and renewal fees dated April 8th, 2025. And whereas with the cancellation of the road license agreement program, council wished to wish to consider the reimbursement of application and renewal fees to those residents who participated in the program that applied for roads, streets, or lanes under a plan of subdivision and for previously existing privately maintained driveways and roads. And whereas with the implementation of the unassumed road improvement agreement policy to address new construction on road allowances, those who applied under the road licensing agreement program for new construction on unopened road allowances will have their application fees transferred to the new program. Now therefore be resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays hereby approves the reimbursement of application fees in the amount of $6,850 and renewal fees in the amount of $750. Questions? All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you.
Let me continue on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so the next is a bylaw in front of council today, seeking a reappointment of the Integrity Commissioner. Her agreement or contract expires at the end of this month. And so we are looking to reappoint her for another term, which would take us to April 30th of 2029. She has not increased her fees or anything moving forward. So I thought that was very appreciative of her.
Yeah, I won't make a comment. Anyone else wish to comment on this or questions? Councillor Godar.
Yeah, I just want to say this is a good idea. It's very good that she's being reappointed. She's been very helpful and very prompt for me. Thank you.
Sorry, if I can just add too that she is the Integrity Commissioner for all the municipalities in the District of Muskoka, and the rest of the municipalities have also reappointed her for another term.
Anything further? Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays, bylaw number 2025-066, being a bylaw to reappoint Susan Craig as Integrity Commissioner for the Township of Lake Bays and to authorize the mayor and clerk to execute an agreement between the Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays and Susan Craig for the services of Integrity Commissioner. Questions, comments? All those in favor? It's carried. Thank you.
I will continue on.
Yep.
The next bylaw in front of you is for a minor amendment to the council procedural bylaw, looking at technical requirements. All electronic hybrid council meetings and committee of adjustment meetings shall be webcast and recorded. We are removing the committee meetings, although they will be recorded. We are not webcasting those. As well, unfinished business had been struck from the agenda in the previous update, and we're asking council if we could please put that back on. We find that it is a great form of keeping track of those items that council may have requested of staff, and therefore we don't want to lose anything between the cracks. So putting it back on the agenda will provide some accountability.
Councillor Tapley.
Why are you not going to webcast the committee meetings?
Go ahead.
They're very informal at this point, so we would like to keep them informal. If you'd like to make them formal, then we could do that as well. But because they are very informal at this point, they don't need to be webcast.
Okay, thank you.
But people can attend, I guess, if they, yeah. So come in person. We serve tea and coffee. Anyone else? Okay. Can I just read the top? Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays, bylaw number 2025-067, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2023-052, being a bylaw to govern the calling, place, and proceedings of meetings for the Township of Lake Bays. All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. Go ahead. Is it you?
Yep, I believe the last bylaw in front of you is
Right.
yeah, to delegate authority to the mayor and clerk to execute any necessary agreements for the Dwight Library and Community Center renovation, which was brought forward in the minutes that council previously approved the ad hoc committee meeting minutes of March 26th.
Questions? I'll read the bylaw. Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays, bylaw number 2025-069, being a bylaw to authorize the mayor and clerk to execute any necessary agreements for the Dwight Library and Community Center renovation. All those in favor? It's carried. Okay. We're on to, do you folks want a break or how you doing? You want a break? Is that a no or a yeah or? No, we're good. We're gonna keep firing on all pistons here. We're into Deputy Clerk Proposed Amendment to Heritage Designation Lemon House William Hood Homestead.
Thank you, Mayor Glover. The report and bylaw before you today is to amend Heritage Designation Bylaw 2017-054 and to change the heritage title from Lemon House to William Hood Homestead. The property located at 1154 Dwight Beach Road was designated by council in June of 2017, and the originally heritage title was Lemon House as an acknowledgement to the previous owner. The current owner, Mr. Hemmingson, approached staff to request the change in title to the Dwight Post Office 1915 to 1917. After research from staff and Heritage Committee members, no evidence was found to support this heritage title. Staff and members of committee reviewed the original documentation, like a Bays Heritage Foundation records, Library and Archives of Canada post offices, and again, no evidence was found to support the 1915 to 1917 title. So staff recommended the heritage title refer to the original homeowner, William Hood. With consultation with the Heritage Committee and with consent from Mr. Hemmingson, the heritage title is being proposed to be amended to the William Hood Homestead. With council's approval today, a notice of passing will be advertised, and after the appeal period, the amending bylaw will be registered on title and provided to the Ontario Heritage Trust. I'm available if you have any questions.
Since council.
Just a
Councillor Tapley.
Just a comment. Thank you, staff, for your work on this. Mr. Hemmingson wanted to include that they were the post office. What we found through our research was everybody in Dwight was the post office at some point. So that's why it's not substantiated.
Anything further? Councillor Anderson.
Thank you, Mayor Glover, through you to staff or maybe even Nancy. I'm wondering about why the change of name? And because there's a cost associated with that to the township. So I'm just sort of trying to look at the history of why the gentleman is looking for the owner is looking for Lemon House to William Hood. Is there an explanation for that?
Through you, Mayor, he came to staff asking it to be more Lemon House. I guess there wasn't a lot of heritage attributes assigned to it, whereas the old post office or William Hood Homestead refers more to the heritage of the property.
Councillor Goat.
Thank you, Mayor Glover. I just wanted to add to that. William Hood was one of the original early settlers. So this is an honor of him too. Thank you.
And I just wanted to add that it is in the heritage budget to cover those costs of that change.
Okay, I have a resolution moved by Councillor Tapley, seconded by Councillor Papard. Whereas the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays receives a staff report proposed amendment to heritage designation Lemon House William Hood Homestead dated April 8, 2025. Now therefore be resolved, the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays hereby amends bylaw 2017-054 to indicate the title of the property as William Hood Homestead and to remove reference to Lemon House. And further that the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays hereby authorize the Heritage Advisory Committee to publish a notice of passing to amend designation bylaw 2017-054 from the Lemon House to the William Hood Homestead located on lot 11, concession 10 in the geographic township of Franklin, now in the Township of Lake of Bays, known municipality as 1154 Dwight Beach Road, and being property roll number 4427-010-008-04900-0000. All those in favor? And that's carried. Thank you. And I have a bylaw, the Corporation of the Township of Lake of Bays, bylaw number 2025-068, being a bylaw to amend bylaw 2017-054, being a bylaw to designate the property located in concession 10, part of lots 11, Township of Franklin, now in Township of Lake of Bays, District Municipality of Muskoka, known municipally as 1154 Dwight Beach Road, and being property roll number 4427-010-008-04900-0000 under Part 4 of the Ontario Heritage Act. Heritage designation William Hood Homestead. All those in favor? That's carried. Okay. There is communication items in the file, and we're on to reports, right? Okay, I just wanted to mention one quick thing. I was fortunate enough to be called upon at the District of Muskoka to sit in as deputy chair during the first part of this emergency. The emergency situation is still on. That hasn't been called off. There's a number of different they have like a checklist that you have to follow in order to call it on, put it on and take it off. And it's still a number of outstanding items that relate to different areas, hydro, just protection of our people. And really, that's all it's about. I just wanted to say it was really an incredible experience so far. It is ongoing. I'm still a little involved, but I'm pulled off the ECG now because the chair is back and has taken over. But I can't say enough about the way Muskoka has worked together. I want to say that our fire department was down doing wellness checks, I believe in Bracebridge, if I'm not wrong. I did speak to the chief with regards to helping out other fire departments, and he brought it up, and I don't know exactly where it went, but it really was and is an incredible thing to watch, and for anyone who has no idea how that works, I have 100% confidence. The province of Ontario, on several occasions, they attend all the meetings. There's about 25, 30 people on the call. And sometimes we were 2-3 times a day. Had said that many times, how well oiled our machine is, how efficient we are. I think that's unfortunately due to the number of emergencies that we've been through. So, but that said, I want to thank everyone here who was involved or helped in any way, shape, or form. Fortunately, Lake of Bays was somewhat spared. There still is properties without power in the real lake area, as I understand. And other than that, I'm not familiar. I know that I spoke with Mr. Peace, and our roads were all in good order, but there was quite the situation in TML as well as Georgian Bay, Gravenhurst. Rural areas were really hard hit. And so we are continuing to work on those programs, but thank everybody for all the backup that was given, and much appreciated. I wanted to also mention that I have a link on my report for U.S. District Tariff Support Link. It was put together by our economic development people in Muskoka. Point everyone to that link to have a look. If you're being affected by tariffs as a business, there is opportunity, lots of it there to assist if you need that. The rest of the report is in front of you, and I'm available for questions if anyone has any. I just want to point out that the district planning department is looking at streamlined planning procedure, and they are going to develop a new sign. I thought that was quite interesting, so that you'll be able to see it from the road as opposed to a tiny little sign. I believe Councillor Papard was on that as well. I think that's all I have. Does anyone have anything they'd like to add to their report? Councillor Papard.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Mayor. Just to expand on my report on our granting program, in May, our Economic Development Coordinator will be giving us a report on that. So we'll have a lot more information in May on our program. It looks like it's going really well.
Anyone else? Well, thank you all for all your reports. There's a lot of information there. Some conferences were attended. It seems like a lifetime ago, but at any rate, yeah. Nothing else to add, so okay then. We'll be going into closed session. I want to thank everyone for joining us, or you can stay on the call. When we come back, I can thank you again. But we appreciate that, and all of staff for all the work they put in. Moved by Councillor Papard, seconded by Councillor Tapley. Be resolved in accordance with section 239, 2, and 3.1 of the Municipal Act C-25 SO 2001 as amended. Council of the Corporation, the Township of Lake of Bays will convene in closed session at 10:27 a.m. for discussion regarding corporate service, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees, road license agreements. All those in favor? And it's carried. Thank you. Okay, we're back. We're back. Moved by Counselor Brooks, seconded by Counselor Godard. Be it resolved, the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays reconvene at 10:41. In open session, report on matters discussed in closed session. All those in favor? It's carried. I have the bylaw, Corporation of Township of Lake Bays bylaw 2025-070, being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the April 8th, 2025 council meeting. All those in favor? Moved by Counselor Picard, seconded by Counselor Tapley. Be resolved, the Council Corporation of the Township of Lake Bays hereby adjourns at 10:42 to meet again on April 29th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in a hybrid meeting setting. All those in favor? Okay, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks, staff. Thanks to all our delegates, and we appreciate everyone joining us today. Have yourself a good day. Stay safe. Bye for now.